Hello. Check it out. I'm on OBS Studio. Oh, I'm small. Now I'm big. Hello. That's fucking cool. Okay. Should be good. Let me make sure I'm recording. Oh, it has a little red dot on it on the icon in the taskbar. Very cool. I like that. Okay. So I was doing my real estate class. I'm in class to be a realtor at the moment instead of engineering. It's what I want to do on the side of being a beer tender, working at a brewery, and doing YouTube. Trying to do the three of them because they're all kind of part-time jobs, and only beer tending would actually make me money. Like, who knows, real estate, how long it takes to make money, and then YouTube, same thing, right? So anyway, I'm doing my real estate class, right? And it's going over like laws that protect lenders, people that lend you money for your mortgage, like mortgage. There's people called mortgage brokers who find good loan companies for you, who take a percentage of money to find you a good loan, by the way. And then there's people called lenders who lend you the money for your loan. They lend you like $400,000, $500,000, right? And you pay them back over 30 years, right? In a fixed interest or variable interest loan, standard real estate stuff, right? So I'm like, okay. And it's showing me some examples of the math. I'm like, this seems fucked. This seems so fucked. And I know the economy is horrible, and the housing dream for people my age, I'm 28 by the way, so like younger millennials who don't have a house yet, and Gen Z coming up, it's like there's a joke of like how it's like hard for us to afford to live, how are we going to find a house and stuff, right? And I come to like this website, I'm just doing my own research, I put in I'll put in some numbers here, right? Like 600k house, let's say. I put 60,000, and I was just astounded at like how horrible it actually looks when I'm doing the math. And like, how the fuck am I ever gonna afford a house? It's so expensive. 6.5% interest is the fucking loan amount, and I can't even believe it. That's like the average loan at 6 to 7% right now. And I just can't believe how hard the consumer, a person who just wants to get a house, gets fucked, and how much money the lender makes in the process of 30 years. It baffles my mind that this is legal and allowed to do, and this is the world that we live in. I don't know how I'm ever gonna afford to fucking live. So I just wanted to come on here and rant about that real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna take off taxes, right? I'm gonna do it without taxes. Look at this bullshit. Property tax, okay, it's part of the game. Home insurance, part of the game. PMI, if you don't put down 20%, okay, hopefully I will have 20% of $600,000 someday, which is what, $120,000. I don't have that much money, but hopefully one day I will. Hopefully the next 5 years I will. I kind of want a house in the next, in the next 10 years, it'd be great if I could have a house. I can have like the possibility of kids and shit. I don't fucking know. But look, anyway, but then you have to add PMI insurance if you're not at 20%, right? Which is just so annoying. HOA can go fuck itself. That should not be a legal entity. Fuck the HOA. Okay, other costs. Okay, we're gonna just take this off, right? So we're gonna say it's like the bare minimum shit, yeah? No taxes, no costs, just what I'm paying for the loan. Home price, 600 grand. Okay, that's a reasonable small home in Southern California. You're not gonna find many homes at that price. Maybe I'm buying a condo. Hopefully there's something available at this price, right? Somehow I have 20% down, so I have $100,000, a little bit more than that somehow. 30 years, I can't do anything about that. And then starting today, and 6%, right? Average interest rate. Okay, so calculate this bullshit. Okay, so $3,000 a month, okay? Monthly payment, all right? If you're with a person, you have a partner, right? That's not too bad, okay? It's 2 incomes to make this. That's doable. Okay, you can pay more than this, right? With 2 people probably. But keep in mind I haven't included property tax. I haven't included the mortgage insurance if you need that. I haven't included HOA fees if you need that, or home insurance, all that bullshit you're paying. There's your car bills, like there's gas, there's food, there's electricity, utilities to pay for. And thank God you're finally not paying rent, but you're paying this bullshit mortgage instead. You traded in like fixed amount of rent, and I'm paying you $2,000 a month. That's what my rent is currently for 12 months or 11 months actually. And it's like, instead of paying, hey, this fixed price for you to let me live here, I am paying to own this house, and then more than that in interest, which is astounding to me. It blows my mind. So let's take a look. Okay, the house price is 600 grand. The loan amount's 480,000 because you put 120,000 down, which is 20%, right, to avoid the PMI. Okay, we're good there. Okay, over the course of your mortgage of 30 years, right, you're gonna pay $1.1 million, okay? You're gonna pay $620,000 in interest, and that is astounding. That's more than the price of the house, and it's well more than the loan you took. They are getting not only 100% back of the loan, they're getting more than 100% back in interest. I don't know what this is. They're getting like 150% back. In addition to you paying them back what they gave you, they are getting an extra 150% in just interest that you paid them over the 30 years, which blows my fucking mind. Look at this, okay? The monthly payment, you are paying more money in interest than you are to your principal. I don't get how this is allowed. I really don't get how this fucking bullshit system works, okay? You're paying more in interest than you do to your principal amount on the loan. So it's like, you make all this money. It's like you make a certain amount of money. You are struggling to live and to get by, right? And you just want to own a house, okay? Your money is going to the fucking bullshit interest payments that keep stacking up, by the way, because you're not getting your principal down fast enough. So the interest is accrued to the combination of the remaining interest plus your principal, right? So you're just paying interest that is going to keep stacking anyway if your principal doesn't go down. So you're paying essentially bullshit money that is going to bullshit. It's going to bullshit, and more of it goes to bullshit than the actual principal, which blows my mind. And look at this, okay? So I came down here, right? I'm looking at, okay, year 1, year 2, it has 30 years of math, right? This motherfucking okay, look, $30,000 in interest I'm paying the first year, and I'm only paying $5,000 of my principal. Is the calculations you want to give me? Because, like, what? That's so much money in interest. Are you fucking me? This is fucking bullshit, no? I can't even believe this, how hard our generation is gonna get fucked to get a house. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking afford this shit if I'm paying $30,000 in interest in the first year and only $5,000 in my principal, okay? So look at this, I keep going down the line. Bullshit, where the interest is more than the principal. I'm at year 12, I'm paying more money in interest still than the principal amount of my loan. That's baffling, okay? I come down, let's see, when do they even out? 20 years into my 30-year fucking loan, okay? I'm what? I'm fucking 55 by now. And finally, I'm paying more to my principal than my interest, okay? Like, that's fucking insane. And finally I'm starting to make traction on my principal. Hey, look, I'm paying a lot of money to my principal because after 20 years, my interest is a little bit more manageable. After 20 years, I can manage my interest on this fucking piece of shit, okay? So look, I'm paying a lot of money to my principal. Finally, my 30 grand, my 36 grand is going to more of my loan than the interest that's on the loan. And boom, year 30, I'm only paying $1,000 in interest for the year, and my house is paid off, okay? And I have paid $480,000 on the loan, okay? I've already paid a down payment of this, $120,000, okay? So I have paid $600,000 for this house. This house is paid off. I have paid 600 grand finally, okay? I have also at this point paid $619,000 in interest, dude. I've paid 620 grand in fucking interest. That's more than the house price. It's like, how is this okay? I don't get how this is legal. I really don't get how this is legal, and I wanted to come on here and call this bullshit out. Like, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe if I have a partner and I'm paying double this, I guess, $6,000 a month, this disappears way faster. I can say fuck the interest and I can double the principal payment here and pay 10 grand here for the year or something, so that the interest doesn't keep stacking on me like this. But it's like, I just cannot believe that you're paying more in interest for 20 years in this calculation than the principal. That blows my fucking mind. And like, what is this saying here? Oh yeah, look at this vertical bucket. Look at this vertical fuck. How this vertical line fucks you, okay? Look how much you're paying in interest. It doesn't plateau until year 23 or whatever. Like, yeah, year 20, it finally starts to slim down a bit. You can see that it's not going up as much. It finally starts to plateau. It's like, oh, this is so fucking insane to me. And look, you're paying $1 million. You're paying more than $1 million, right? You're paying 1.2, right? This plus this. $1.2 million for a $600,000 home over 30 years. Just like, fuck you. Fuck this system. I cannot believe it. So I was thinking, right? Why does this fucking loan need to be so high, okay? I know there's like inflation and other shit, and like, say this loan was 0 and you just in goodwill are paying a company back that gave you money, which shouldn't happen, right? I understand why they need to charge interest. They are doing a service to people by giving them a lot of money to be able to buy a house. Okay, I get it. They should be compensated for that. Okay, I'll pay you a percentage in interest. It makes sense to me. Okay, this number is insane. If inflation is high for you, it's high for the person buying the house and the amount they pay for food and for groceries and just to fucking live. Okay, so inflation shouldn't drive this number through the moon because inflation's also affecting me, but then I have to pay for this inflated bullshit, right? Okay, so say this is like 1%, right? So I'm like, how much money does this, what is the minimum amount of interest this can be for the company that gives you a huge loan of $480,000 to still make money, okay? So I'm like, okay, what do they make if I pay them 1% interest, right? They still make 75 grand. Hey, that seems pretty fair to me, right? You give me $480,000, right? I give you 1% back over 30 years. You get 75 grand for doing nothing, just for giving me money. Like, that seems so chill. And like, this is 1%, right? Okay, of course it's not gonna be 1%. Let's say it's 3. Let's say it's 3% loan. You make $248,000. Is that not enough? Is that not enough? I pay $850,000 total. You get to keep $250,000 over 30 years. It seems like a great deal for you just to give me some money because I can't afford to buy a house on my own, because I can't afford to live, because this country's fucked. Yeah? Makes sense? Okay. And it's worse for our generation than it ever has been before. And this bullshit is somehow legal and allowed, and I don't get it. Okay? So it's like, 3%, that's low. That's low, and this shit is still mind-boggling to me. Like, look, you're still paying more in interest, but hey, it's a lot closer. Wow, I can actually put 10 grand towards my principal. Isn't that great? And look, the gap closes so much faster, okay? And wow, in 7 years this time, and between 7 and 8 years, I can finally start paying more in my principal than in my interest, versus 20 years in the other example. That's huge, okay? That's awesome, actually. And this is 3%, and they're still making a lot of money. Like, why can't it just be low? Okay, and I looked into a little bit. I don't know all about this. I'm still in training, and it's not like being a real estate agent means I know all the inner backings to being in the mortgage company industry. I have no idea, honestly. But look, see this graph? It looks so much nicer. My monthly payment is really low. So I could make this, again, I could triple this to say 6K a month if I'm with a partner and we're making good money, hopefully. We can pay a lot more of this off, maybe we can pay 4 grand a month or something. I don't know what's viable in monthly payments. Again, I haven't even included taxes and other costs, and there's like so much more. And imagine you have kids and like you're trying to save for their college, and I don't know, like there's so many bills to pay. It is so hard to live. And okay, anyway, so this is on a 3%, which I've never seen in my lifetime and never will. Okay, this makes more sense to me than the other one does. And I'm going backtracking a bit to what I was saying before, right? I don't know much about the mortgage industry, right? But I know that there's like a middleman. There's like middlemen to middlemen. There's so many middlemen to just make it more expensive and confusing. So the lender is also borrowing from a bank, I think is how it works, right? So there's a lender who gives you money, and they don't have infinite money, of course, and maybe they're giving out a lot of loans. So they are borrowing money at the same time from a bank to cover the amount of money they're giving you, right? Because they're giving you a lot of money, 480 grand here in this case. Okay, that's just one person. And who knows how many loans they give out to how many people. So they're giving out millions and millions of dollars. They're backed by a bank, and they're taking out money from a bank to afford these loans, okay? So they are paying the bank back interest on the loans they take out from them. And the way they make money is that they have to charge they have to charge me and you more interest, right, on the loan to make them more money, and then they pay back the bank with less interest, and so that they charge us more interest so that they can be returning a profit, right? Yeah, makes sense? Okay. So yes, that makes sense. They deserve to make money. They are doing a service. They deserve to make a profit. I don't know how much money they're making. I don't know what their interest rate from the bank is, if it's low or high, but all I know is it's fucked, and like I don't get why that's middleman bullshit is in place. Why don't we just borrow from the bank? Or like a better system needs to be put in place so that I'm not getting absolutely destroyed by a 7% interest rate. Like, and paying more money in interest than I do for my own fucking house, which is a ton of money, by the way. That my house is so much money. $600,000 is so much money to so many people, including myself. And to think that I'm paying more than that in interest over 30 years on an average loan blows my fucking mind. It makes me want to blow my mind with a fucking shotgun. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Does this not make sense? Like, why can't it just be low? Like, if they're borrowing from the banks at a worse interest rate than this, okay, or inflation or whatever the fuck, like, why is that system in place where we have to double the interest so that they can make money? Like, why is it not just borrowing from banks, and maybe banks need to have smaller satellite companies through the bank that they don't charge any interest to give money to, and then they are the ones who give us loans to buy a house, okay? Because everyone should be able to buy a house, right? It's just sad. It's so sad to me that this bullshit is allowed and legal, and I'm like, it's so mainstream, and it's getting worse as I get older, and it's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm in a decent situation, you know? Like, I mean, I used to be an engineer making good money, and I used to make $6K a month, which was about $100K a year, and that with coupled with a partner, you know, maybe I could afford this and afford the taxes and costs, and I could afford a condo or something. And it's like, not everyone has that salary, and especially not every two people have those good salaries by the time they're 30. Like, you know, I was lucky to have a good one. Now that I don't, because I really did not enjoy that career path, it's like I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking I'm fucked. And I'm thinking a lot of us are fucked, and I just want to come on here and say how fucking how sad it is and how upset I am. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, this is crazy to me. It's absolutely asinine and stupid. And maybe I need to look more into it, do some more research. Maybe there's some loopholes to avoid getting fucked so hard. Like, to avoid getting fucked so hard. Like, look at this bullshit, man. Oh my god, that is horrible. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. And maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm not. I just feel like this shouldn't be allowed. And I don't know how this got into. I don't know how the US turned into this shit where companies are so favored over the individual, okay? And like again, I'm doing in the Realtor course, I'm learning about all the privileges lenders have and all the laws protecting lenders. It's like, okay, maybe get some laws in place to unfuck the consumer, okay? Unfuck the average individual who just wants to get a house. I think the lending company is probably fine even if they lose some money, which they're guaranteed not to, by the way. That's also one I wanted to say. I don't get why this is, okay. So I talked about them paying the banks back, right? For the interest example, okay? I'm almost done with my rant. I'm almost done. I talked about them paying back the banks at some amount of interest to pay the banks back, okay? And then they need to make money, so then they need to charge us a lot, okay? But if they need to charge a lot of interest because if you default on the loan, they're at a loss. They want to make sure they're not at a loss, right? But they do so many things to make sure they're not at a loss. First of all, they appraise the house before you buy it, okay? So they appraise the house. The house is appraised at this price, okay? So they're like, okay, the house is appraised for this price. By the way, the house will sell for, you will have to buy the house for more than it's worth probably, because we're in a horrible, shitty housing real estate market. It's been a seller's market for a long time where people are overpaying by $100,000 for a house sometimes. So they appraise it at $600,000, but you might pay $700,000 for the house. And they're only giving you the loan on what they appraise, because they don't care that you got fucked by the housing market and had to pay an extra $100,000 to get this house you wanted, because you can't find any other deals. Maybe you're paying an extra $20,000, maybe it's an extra $50,000, maybe it's not so extreme to be $100,000. I hope it's not. But anyway, they're only giving you the amount that they appraise it for, because if you default when they sell the house, they're not guaranteed to make any more than this appraisal. Okay, so they're worried about they're worried about money. That's all they're fucking worried about. But they make so much fucking money. I don't, like, if they're making this much, I don't know how many people default on their loan versus don't. I'm guessing more people don't default on their loan than do. So they're making so much fucking money in interest on average off people. I don't see how they're not like just billionaires. It's like not them individually, but a $1 billion company that can't afford to lose some money sometimes. Like, if someone defaults on a house, it's not and a lot of the times it's not their fucking fault, you know? The economy's trash. Maybe they got laid off at work. Maybe something happened. I don't know. And then they just get fucked, and their house gets defaulted on. Their house gets foreclosed. This lender takes their house as collateral, Okay, so the person has paid, I don't know how much money in interest and in principal payments. They've made their mortgage for as long as they could, then they got defaulted on and foreclosed. Then they're out of a fucking house and they're out of all this money they've paid. What I'm getting at is the lender gets the house, okay? So they get, let's say the worst case scenario, you default in the first year. You default on your loan in the first year, okay? You can't pay this asinine amount of interest, and you're dropping your payments, okay? So they foreclose on you. They say, I don't know how many times it takes or what, how many missed payments you can make until they foreclose your ass, but they got your ass, okay? They're squeezing it tight. So let's say they only got 30 grand out of your ass for free, by the way. It's just interest, okay? And then they got 5K to the principal loan. So they made 35 grand, okay? They originally loaned you $480,000, okay, right? So that's gone. I'm not sure what happens to your down payment. So that just, when you paid that to the owner of the house. So that's gone. Yeah, that's gone. That goes to the owner of the house. So there's this balance, this minus the 35 grand they got, right? That you defaulted on, and that's why they foreclosed your ass. Okay. So the lender is out this much money, but they own your house. They own your house as collateral, and they just appraised it. The house is worth $600,000, which you might have paid $700,000 for. Okay. This is what the price of the house is. I don't know if it's easy to sell a foreclosed home or what, like why it's such a big deal. They own more in value than the loan they gave you, okay? And they got to keep your 35 grand, and this is the worst case scenario for them, you defaulting in the first year, because they didn't get to juice your ass for 30 grand every year in fucking interest, okay? So it's like, I don't get it, man. They get even just the house alone, they get an extra $120,000. They never lose money. I don't see why this has to be so high. Like, inflation aside, they never lose money in my eyes. Maybe I'm missing something. It's like, even if people default, which I don't think happens as often as people make it to 30 years, where they make a fuck ton of money, where they make this much, right? In addition to you paying them back this much, by the way, they make this much on top of it. If you get foreclosed on, they keep your $600,000 house, which they get to sell for a profit for this price, presumably, right? It's the same house. As long as it's not fucking trashed, they get to sell this. And it's like, they make money. They make money in the worst case scenario. They make $120,000 plus the $30,000 they already fucked out of you. It's like, I keep using that example of getting fucked. That's how I feel. I just feel fucked. I feel so fucked, and it's insane. I don't get how they're ever at a loss. I don't get why this has to be so high. Just drop this to a reasonable amount, man. Like, drop this to 3%. That's reasonable, no? They're still making a lot of money, and I think they should make money. It makes sense. They're a company doing a service, okay? They deserve to get paid. That's fair. They're giving me money when I don't have money, okay? Sure. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with that? That's a lot of money. Why is the margin, am I off base with these margins? Are they making so much less than I presume? And if they are, if they're only being profitable when the interest is 6 instead of 3 because they had to pay the bank back, then the system needs to change. This is not fucking okay. Like, this amount of money, that's like the minimum to make them profitable? Like, what is their profit margin and what is acceptable? Like, it shouldn't be so astronomical. And if it is, the system needs to fucking change, because it's insane that they can take this much from an average person. And like, I'm not even including the taxes and costs, man. It's like, oh my god, how am I ever gonna afford this shit? Oh. It's like no one can afford to have, like, no one can afford to be a single parent. Like, I don't know how it's fucking done. It doesn't look viable with the numbers. It's like, or if someone wants to be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, it's like, nope, you can't. You need a job. And maybe you need 2 jobs. Because this interest is insane. And like, the monthly payment, $3 grand a month monthly payment. It's like, my rent is $2K a month, right? So this isn't insane to me that I'm paying $3K a month. But especially with a partner helping me, right? But Lord knows you're paying more than this to try and get your principal down faster, because if you don't get your principal down faster, you're just losing thousands and thousands of dollars in interest. So I don't know. And this is the monthly payment, right? Without this, right? It's not changing. Yeah, there we go. Oh. This is all in the presumption I managed to get 20% down payment, by the way, which is a ton of money. It's like, who has $100,000 saved up? Oh, it's like $1.4 million over the course of 30 years for a $600,000 house. Just crazy. You shouldn't have to double the price of your house to pay it off. And this is a cheap house. This is a condo. This is a fucking condo. Every house in California is $1 million now. This is a cheap house. And the down payment is still insane, because if you put 5% down, like on a FHA loan, on a first-time homeowner's loan, right, which is what first-time home owners would use, I think, what I would use, I think. Then I have to pay PMI. I have it at 0. I don't know what it is. The annual cost typically ranges from 0.3 to 1.9% of the loan amount. 1.9%. That's oh my god, it's a fuck ton of money. Let's see what 1.9% is. Extra 2% a year. Kiss my ass. Oh my god. Yeah, an extra $100,000. An extra $100,000 in 30 years. Cool. How much monthly? An extra $1,000 a month in PMI. That's just for the lender to get more of your fucking money out of you, because you're at more of a risk of defaulting. Well, you're not actually. You just have less money. But they get less money out of you. No, they have to give you a bigger loan, so they want more of your money faster. So you pay this stupid company that exists for no reason, principal mortgage insurance, or property, I don't know what it stands for. Principal, whatever. Let's see. Private mortgage insurance, thank you, okay. You pay this bullshit just in case you can't afford to pay. It's so backwards. You pay more money in case you can't afford to make your payments, so that all the money you pay in insurance goes back to the lender. Like, they have a plan with you through the insurance company that if you default, the insurance company pays the lender some portion of money as a settlement, right? And you're paying an extra $1,000 a month. And like, okay, say it's like 1%. You're paying, let's say what it is. You're paying an extra $500 a month for no reason. Just in case you can't afford to make payments, they charge you more in case you can't afford to make it. Just so the lender's not out. A tiny fraction of the money they bring in each year. And they'll never be down money in my eyes, because they own your house if you default. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I don't get it. It's really fucking annoying and sad. And I don't know what this other cost is. What is this? Groceries? Yeah, it probably is that much money. Utilities. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to redo my cabinets. 15 grand. No, sorry, I have to pay $1.7 million for my $600,000 house. I don't have 15 grand lying around. Sucks. Can't renovate my house. Sucks. I bought it cheap. Maybe I can make some repairs on it and increase the value, so I can sell it for a profit when I fucking die. But no. But I had to pay $1 million more than what it's worth. So I have to sell it for 1.6 million. I really hope it appreciates fast. Like, it is baffling to me, man. Baffling. And so sad. That's just hurting my eyes. I'm gonna take that shit off. Okay, so anyway, that's my rant. I don't know, maybe I'm missing some info here on the cost of living. It just seems insanely high. And like this for the house. Food is so expensive, and like, you wanna be able to have some financial freedom in your life to go do activities and spend money doing fun things. But it's like, if you didn't start investing when you're 20, or start saving really well when you're 20 and have a high paying job early. So you save or invest for 10 years to hopefully afford half of this down payment. Maybe your partner you guys are both lucky and did this beautiful job investing, and when you were 20 years old, made a lot of money, and you both have 60 grand by the time you're 30. Okay, you pull it together, you have 20% down on this condo or cheap house, and it's like, that just doesn't happen. And if it did, like, it's just not viable for the average person. And it's like, then you have like you want to have a wedding, maybe you want to spend 30 grand to have a fun wedding and celebrate each other, and you want to go on your honeymoon, vacation, you want all these things, and you want to again have a college fund for your kid, you want to take them traveling and stuff, and it just should not be so expensive to live. You shouldn't be paying so much money in interest to a company that all they're doing is giving you money and accepting risk in case you default. And the risk they're accepting is getting your house and getting to sell it, in addition to the money you've paid them up to that point. Like, am I missing something? And this is like a dream interest rate, and this is a dream interest rate. Without this, it's like, man, the fact that HOA can ever even exist. 2025. Oh my God, it's just sad. This is so sad. I cannot believe this. I cannot fucking believe this, man. Can we unfuck our country? And this is just the cost of living, let alone all the other bullshit that goes on in the US. But it's like, man, this should be a fundamental right as a US citizen. It should be a fundamental human right, you know. Hopefully in other areas, I mean, I don't know, the housing market's fucked everywhere, right? I'm pretty sure, but this should be a fundamental human right. To be able to live and not have it be so difficult. Like, I know stories of people who are working 2 or even 3 jobs to get by. And my dumbass is trying to pursue a dream right now of YouTube. And maybe I should crunch the numbers first. But I'm gonna be working 3 jobs. I mean, I'll be working 2 to afford my rent until I can hopefully make a lot of money in a career or on YouTube or something. But it's just asinine. It is so crazy to me. This is the housing market we live in today. And everyone knows it's fucked. Everyone I talk to knows it's fucked, and nothing changes. Like this, why is it allowed to be so bad? How did it get this way? If you look at like the income gap, I don't know how long I've been recording, by the way. I should cut this short soon. 35 minutes. Oof, God. If you look at the income gap, like over time, like income to housing price gap over time, like this gap, right? Let's see what we got. So, okay. Can I get this full screen or something? That's not much bigger. Here we go. Okay. So, can you see this? So house price versus household income, USA, median house price, median household income. Okay, this is perfect. Let's see what we got. So the green is your income, and then the median is your house price. Okay, so we have what? 3 times your income. This is what? 1985. Okay, so not that long ago. This is 40 years ago, right? This is only 40 years ago, which blows my mind. Look how bad it is. Oh my God, it's worse than I thought. It is 6 times your income to afford a house. Yeah, that makes sense. It is 6 times the median income. The median house. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, cool. Let's let that be a thing. Let's let that be allowed. No, let's make some laws to protect lenders. You know, in case someone loses their job and their house gets taken away from them, let's protect the lenders, huh? Let's protect the billion-dollar company that gave them pennies on their dollar, and all they had to do was give money, and they make money just for giving money. And let's protect them though and make sure they're okay. Like what? 6 times the median household income? What the fuck? What is the median household income? Oh damn, it's low. What are we at? What are we at? Oh, I thought we were under 50 grand. Okay, we're over 50 grand. Or what? At $75,000 median household income? 75K, huh? Yeah, that's not gonna get you this house. How much is this median house price, by the way? Oh my God, it's under. This is only $450,000. I thought this was like $1 million. Wait, that's bad because. No, I guess $1 million's worse, but fuck, this is less than our $600,000 example, and it's so disparaged. Oh, that's fucking sad. I'm in a lucky position. Like, I'll be in a lucky position just working as a realtor, making hopefully $75,000 by myself, and then maybe I have a partner who brings in the same amount of money. Maybe we have $150,000 together, and then we get what? We get pushed into bracket number 2, almost 3, and it's still more than double that amount to get to a house price. Like, wow, man, wow. And that would be me that'd be me above the household income, the average household income in the U.S. What the fuck is happening? This seems reasonable. I like 1980. Only for this reason, not for everything else. This seems reasonable. Three times your income for an average house. That seems great. Not sure I like 6 times. And also the gap between the 1, 2, and 3 is huge over here. These gaps are massive compared to these. Oh, fuck, man. This shit's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway. I looked at this and it blew my mind. And made me sad. Not to mention everything else going on in the state of the world, in the state of the US. Like, fuck me. And they will. These companies. I just don't get it why that's so convoluted to like just borrow some money from someone, from a bank that has a fuck ton of money to lend, because they make a fuck ton of money, and it's like it should be seen as like, I don't want to call it good faith. Like, again, I want them to make money because they're offering a service, but this is a reasonable human right to have for everyone, and a reasonable right to have for citizens in a nation, right, to own a house. So there should be companies that follow a law that makes it so the average citizen has a chance, okay, the average citizen has a chance of ever affording a house in their lifetime. That should be mandated because it should be a human right. And we're so far from that. And it blows my mind that it's so commercialized, and it's so make as much money as possible at the expense of every citizen in this country, most of them who can't afford this shit. And it's like the company just makes. Like, where are the caps? Where are the laws protecting us? Where are the laws that say, hey, we can't go between 3 times the household income? That's insane. No one will be able to afford a fucking house, okay? Drop your interest rates. You'll make less of a profit, but you're still making a profit. And if you're not, we'll change the system and the banks can loan directly to the person. And you're still making money. I don't see how you're not. You still get the house if it's foreclosed on. And you're still getting paid interest, even if it's less. And inflation fucks everyone, okay? Not it shouldn't. They shouldn't be protected from inflation, and us have to suffer from inflation if they charge more in interest. It's like we're already suffering from inflation. Don't double down by making the house so much money. Oh God. Anyway, that's my rant. It's fucked. Maybe in my crusade of knowledge against this bullshit, and if I become a sexful, if I become a successful realtor one day and like learn some more about this shit, maybe I can make a video like trying to help people work around this to get a house the most affordable and obtainable way possible. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. So to keep you guys posted in the next 5 years or something. This is just bullshit, and I wanted to say why. Yeah.